Darwish here with Grow Sisters. I am standing out front of Dirty Business Soil in Arcata, California. It's a little bit of a rainy day, so let's go see what the girls in the lab have. Hi. Hi, girls. Hi. Humboldt. You too. Yay. All right, guys, so I am here with Sarah and Joanna, the owners and operators of Dirty Business Soil. Hey. In their lab, which is really great. So you girls want to tell us a little bit about yourselves and your business?
Yeah, so I'm Sarah, this is Joanna. We're both certified professional soil scientists, and this is our laboratory. Thanks for coming. This is a lab that we built from the ground up, and we do agricultural testing for local farmers in Humboldt.
Very cool. All right. Should we check it out?
Yes, we shall. Let's check it out.
That was easy enough.
And then we're going to give you a... All right, so in the lab, safety first. So we're going to wear our personal protective equipment. So the first one is lab coat. All right, so over here, we are doing science to soil.
Science with soil.
So right now, Sarah's gonna make what we call a saturation paste. And when we do this, we're actually extracting the nutrients from your soil to measure by using water. So she's filling her saturation paste cups with some water, and she's essentially making a mud pie.
We make mud pies around here.
All
That's
day.
what soil scientists do.
What's your job? I make mud pies.
I make mud pies.
We want to make sure that we get water all over all the particles.
And so this is something that people can do at home.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So doing a little slurry test on your soil at home is a great way to calibrate your pH in the field, right? You could send it to us every day, but that would be expensive and a waste of your time. So people should really learn how to make these little mud pies at home and use their digital pH meter and take a pH measurement, because you need to know what's going on with the pH of your soil. It's crucial for nutrient uptake for your plant.
Excellent.
So you want your soil, when it's done, to look kind of like a mud pie. You can see that when you jiggle it around, it's movable, and you don't want it to be too dry or too wet. You don't want it to be like a soup where you can pour it out. And so basically just mud pie it up and have a good time.
And what is the pH that we're looking for here?
So the optimal pH is 6.5. So anywhere between 6 and 7 is fine, but we want to shoot for 6.5, which is right in the middle. So we're going to go over to our pH meter. It's really simple. After you make your mud pie, you do have to let it wait for a while. So you want to set your timer for about an hour. And if you go longer than an hour, it's fine, but you want at least an hour to really let the chemistry happen in there and let the nutrients extract out of the soil and into the water, because essentially we just want the water that comes out of the soil, and that's what we're going to shoot through our machines to find out how many nutrients you have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is a saturation paste or a soil slurry. Again, this is something you can do in the field to measure your own pH. Very simple. It's as fun as making a mud pie.
Mud pies.
Mud pies.
Okay.
Okay, so
once your mud pie is complete and you've waited your hour or longer, you're going to come and use your pH meter. Now our pH meter is kind of fancy. You're usually going to have a handheld. We recommend electronic because they're more accurate. Usually Hanna or Blue Lab. There's a lot of different companies that make just ones that you can use on your farm. And so we're going to use our fancy high-tech one, and we're lowering it down just directly into the mud pie. You want to be gentle because there is a little glass ball at the end of the pH meter that can break, and then once that breaks, you have to buy a new meter. And the meters they're not super expensive, but you don't really want to be going through a $200 pH meter very often. So then we're just going to let it sit here, and we let our machine do its job. You can see the numbers are switching, and as soon as it settles into a number, that's the number that gets recorded. Now we have kind of an auto dumping pH meter here, where as soon as it settles, it goes right into a computer and into an Excel file to reduce human error of transcription.
As the pH meter sort of starts to equilibrate and level out, we're going to be getting a reading here of around 5.8. And so we would be recommending that this producer lime, add some sort of liming agent to their soil. The most common one used in our area is oyster shell, and it does a good job of helping to increase the pH of your soil. So we have many different kinds of extractions that we do here in the lab, depending on what we're testing for. And so we are going to do another kind of shaken extraction.
Ooh.
It's a little bit deeper. It shakes up the soil and gets stuff loosened up for measuring. It's a deeper extraction than just water. So
Yeah, so I'll be demonstrating this one, and what I really want to get across is that the first step of soil testing is extraction, and the second part is analysis. So right now, we're just getting all the nutrients off of the soil particles. That's the first step. The second step is to go and put it into a machine that tells us what the concentration of those nutrients are. So we're going to do a second type of extraction, and this one involves a lot of shaking. So here we go. So I have these soils, beautiful soils, and I put the measured amount into each one of these tubes. Right now we're just doing 4 for the sake of ease. Great.
So our super fancy RepiPet dispensers dispense exact amounts of liquid with each squirt. But not that time. There we go. So now that we have the extraction solution on our soil, Sarah's going to load it up on the shaker, and we are going to shake some newts off our soil particles. So now we're going to pour our extracted soil through a filter and remove the sediment and just get that filtrate so we can shoot that through our machine for analysis.
So after we're done with our extract, we pipette the material into a test tube. And then we bring it over to the AA machine to analyze the extract.
So this is our atomic absorption spectrophotometer, and it does our measurements through flame spectroscopy.
Ooh, a flame?
Basically, it takes your extract, shoots it into a flame, and then the wavelength that it spits out from the flame tells you the concentration of the nutrients that are in that extract. So it's pretty cool.
So Siobhan, you like playing with fire?
Yes.
We got some flames for you, girl.
We got some flames for you.
This is exciting.
So I'm gonna have you start it up,
I'm
okay?
gonna have you do the honors.
Okay. Bam! So this is a mixture of acetylene and air, and we have these tanks behind us pumping in the right amount of acetylene. And if you want to hit start on our sample, our auto sampler is going to actually draw the sample and shoot the sample through our machine for the measurement.
Wow.
So you can see too, as the sample is being shot through, the flame changes color. This is how it makes the measurement. As the ions burn off, the wavelength of the flame is actually being measured.
So cool.
Okay, so Another service that we do for farmers is pest identification. And today we are looking at some leaves that were submitted that had some symptoms for russet mites.
And we know that a lot of people have been dealing with russet mites out there, especially last year. They were really bad. And the saga continues, unfortunately. This is a recently submitted sample, January 16th.
So this is a dissecting scope, and we look at our leaves anywhere from 40 to 100 times magnification. And I encourage all farmers to have a dissecting scope on their property. You can get really inexpensive dissecting scopes, and they are your #1 line of defense, is to monitor for pests on your plants. And if russet mites are micro mites that you can't see with your eye, that means you need a scope, guys. Get a scope and monitor.
Having a dissecting scope has a larger field of view than a little dope scope or a hand lens. So a lot of people, they have high-powered hand lenses, and that's just not enough to find these guys.
Yeah, that's great advice.
So we have diagnosed a positive russet mite here, and you can see them crawling around. They look like carrots, a carrot-shaped shrimp-like mite. They taper towards the back. They have little legs in the front.
And they're really disgusting.
And when you see a lot of them, it kind of looks like a pile of maggots. They're very easy to identify. And if you have a small population of them, as long as you're scanning your leaf surface really effectively, you're going to be able to find just 1 or 2 of these guys if they're there. And these leaves right here are exhibiting some pretty classic signs of russet mites. Oftentimes we will see this wrinkled texture. So, I'm sorry, that my glove doesn't work. So there's a wrinkly texture that happens. Another common symptom here is you can see the margin at the base of the leaflet is curling upward. That is a very strong indicator you have a russet mite issue. Also, these malformed leaves here, the turning of the leaf, the wrinkly texture, the light papery feeling of the leaf instead of a vigorous, thick, juicy epidermis, you're looking at some flimsy thing. So these are all signs of a pretty stressed out plant and indicative of russet mite infestation.
Ooh. Yeah, you want to take a look, Siobhan?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Oh my goodness.
can you see them?
Oh my goodness.
If you want to fine focus, this knob on the side will let you focus in and out,
Oh, they're disgusting.
and they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I'd say. So we are an agricultural testing laboratory here at Dirty Business, and we specialize in ag testing specifically so we can get farmers the numbers they need to farm effectively. There's lots of kind of labs out there. The name of the game in lab land is specialization, so we specialize in dirt.
And as you can see, we have some pretty high-tech equipment here, and for different types of testing, you need different types of equipment. And so we do agricultural testing for nutrients on soil, plant tissue, and water, but we don't do cannabinoid testing or pesticides, and we don't do wastewater treatment or environmental testing. So there's other labs out there that do different types of testing. So when you're going to get something tested, you want to look at what exactly are you looking for, what answers are you looking for, and then pick a lab that's going to give you the results that you want.
And a lot of the people that come through our door at Dirty Business don't exactly know what testing they need, and many times we need to just help them figure out what their objective is, what they want to know, and then we can get them the right test for them.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's ag testing, and sometimes it's drinking water, and sometimes it's something that we don't do, and we point them in the right direction, and we'll usually help you find a lab that's suitable for you.
Go dirty.
Go dirty, grow clean.
Go dirty, go clean.
All right, well, thank you, ladies. That was incredible. Thank you for letting me play in your lab today. Soil science is very cool and much more complicated than I actually thought. So, yeah, thank you, Dirty Business Soil. I appreciate it. And you are officially Grow Sisters.
Awesome.
So,
Yay.
thanks for doing
Yay.
science.
Yay, Siobhan.
Yay, science, guys.
Yay, science!